So in our lives, we're constantly playing roles, unconsciously playing roles, unconsciously acting in different ways depending on where we are or who we're talking with. That's why you may feel that you're adaptable and have many personalities depending on where you are and who you are with. Because you're always playing roles. And that's how the ego works. You're always playing roles in relationships because the ego always wants to get something from a relationship. So it's gonna act in a certain way in order to get something back. In order to get something back from the other person. And you do this unconsciously. Just observe that. Observe that when you go into a relationship, you want to receive. You act a certain way. It's like, hey, I'm gonna be here for you and I'm going to do this for you because I want you to love me. And we always like, there's some hidden agenda in the background all the time. That's why we're always playing roles, and it's completely unconscious. So what does it really mean to be yourself? Who are you really when you're not playing roles? When there is no hidden agenda? When there is nothing else? When there is a giving love and abundance rather than wanting something back from the other, and it's just purely a giving. In the moment you ask yourself, okay, how can I be more myself? That's a tricky thing because that's again your ego playing a role. Now you're playing the role of my spontaneous, authentic self. And then you try to be yourself, and that is not yourself because you're trying. So when you are yourself, you don't try. You just are yourself. You are yourself already. You just are. Just stop putting things onto you. Stop putting labels onto you. Stop putting all this baggage and all this BS onto you. All these roles, all this. I am a partner, I am mom, I am a doctor, I am this, I am that. And you identify with all these little things and you play the role because you are so identify with that little story that you tell yourself into your mind, that you just become that. You don't realize that this is all baggage, that you, like some layers and layers and layers that you poured into your pure, transparent being. And then it's like, okay, how can I be more myself? And it's funny because I've been there, obviously. And the moment you start trying to be more yourself, then you're not yourself anymore. just realizing that you are enough. That there is nothing to do or to achieve. There's nothing to be apart from what you already are. And when you live from that space of not putting any labels into yourself, just being with already is, no labels. Then true relationships come up to the surface. Then you can actually have a relationship, an authentic relationship. Then true love comes up. Not wanting anything from the other. There's no hidden agenda. There's no what can I get from you? What can I get to fulfill myself? Because when you are your authentic self, you realize you're already fulfilled. Because you realize you are enough. You're already enough. And it's beautiful to just rest in this, like how light it feels to just know that you don't have to be anything. You don't have to put things, you don't have to add anything onto you. You are already enough. See how light that feels? And then you wonder, why do you feel so heavy, like you're putting all this weight onto your shoulders, onto you're out there searching and seeking to get something to fulfill you from others, from other things, because you're in your mind there's a thought that you've identified with, that I'm not enough. And when you realize how vast and beautiful you are, just how you are right now, there is no seeking, there is no adding things onto you. There's just no need. That's truly how you are you. And just by being you, with no labels, just by being present as you are, impact others' lives. Others, other humans can sense that. And that's the love that you are spreading into the world. That's the world awakening through you. And that's how you're going to contribute to humanity. It's a great disservice to humanity to not be you. To not be authentic. To not speak your truth. It's a big, big disservice. You're not helping anybody by people pleasing, for example. Those ideas and stories that you've created in your mind of that's actually not helping anybody. If you show up in the world as you are, with your true self, everything will naturally arise. Like, you're just in touch with this presence and with how big and beautiful you are, that it's just like intrinsic. I'm just trying to like look for the word, how to say it. It's just like implicit. So the boundaries are implicit. The power is implicit. The presence, the value, the respect, everything is implicit. You don't have to try to be anything to be respected, or try to be harder so people can respect your boundaries and stop being a people pleaser. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to add anything onto you. You don't have to add these different new personalities. Like, now I'm gonna be this harsh person that's always in reaction mode. So if you're crossing my boundary, I'm gonna react to that. That's just adding another label into yourself. It's the ego. It's just a reaction mode. So it's pretty tricky as well. So when you're present, when you're grounded, when you know it's deep rooted into yourself, the value that you already are, the light that you already are, it's just like you'll find that is just gonna externalize in your reality. There's no reaction. There's just a presence that's already respected. That's already, like, people can feel that off of you. And if you need to put a boundary, you put it from a place of just presence, just being. You don't need to try to do anything to prevent that. You just have to be you. You don't have to try to be you. You just have to allow yourself to be who you already are. That's really fucking powerful. So be you, and you'll transform someone's life.